Okay, I just got back home from the game. Traffic. My God, the traffic. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, I've never been to California, but I would debate that Atlanta traffic, even on a Saturday, is the worst in the country. But that is just my personal opinion, which is factual, and I won't hear anything otherwise. But that's not here nor there. Welcome to the Local W. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel for all the greatest and best in women's sports coverage. You are currently tuned in to another chapter, another episode of Atlanta Dream coverage here on the Local W. I am your Atlanta Dream correspondent, Sever the Bond. And I was at the preseason game today. Let's talk about the shenanigans. I want to say just one quick thing, just one really quick thing. For those of you who are new to me on this channel, let me say, while I speak passionately and with fervor and energy in my voice, I need it to be clear that if I'm slandering someone, you'll know it. You'll know it. I might come across a little aggressively when I critique, but you will know the difference between slander and critiquing. I promise you that. But that's neither here nor there. Now, the starting lineup for the Atlanta Dream going up against the Washington Mystics in preseason action. The starting lineup was Haley Jones, Alicia Gray, good old Ryan Howard, you know what I mean? MVP candidate Ryan Howard, greatest basketball player on the face of the earth, Ryan Howard, Cheyenne Parker at 4, and Tina Charles at the 5. Now, there were a lot of different combinations that Coach Wright could have thrown out there because we have a plethora of new additions to the team. A lot of veteran name-branded talent. I'm talking from your Ariel Powers, excuse me. Like we have such a gauntlet of individuals to throw out there, not to mention the individuals we're bringing back, like say Letitia and such, a little LA action. Like there are so many options we could have thrown out there. You know, let's not forget Nia Coffey. Let's not forget Nasri. Like there are options upon options upon options, and we keep signing people. We done got Dangerfield, I believe. Sorry if I said that wrong. From Dallas. For a first round pick. Insanity. Like we're pulling an OKC, but this is insanity here. Not to mention, we just signed Destiny Henderson. So there's options upon options everywhere that you look. So it was very fascinating that we decided to have all-star Cheyenne Parker at 4 for Tina Charles to start. I found that very interesting, seeing as though our issue has been a lack of depth, if you will, at the forward position, specifically a center to defend the paint. I thought Tina Charles would come off the bench, and that's no shot at Tina. Love me some Tina Charles, 1,000%. I think her name is not brought up enough when you have conversations of the greats. I thought she got, she was done dirty in Seattle. I felt like she was done dirty in Phoenix. I mess with her. I was just a little intrigued at the fact that she was starting with Cheyenne Parker going back to the 4 without like a legitimate replace. I found that interesting, but that's not here nor there. So the game starts. And it was a kind of a slow build. Everyone was kind of like feeling each other out because much like what you will hear in post-games interviews from the Dream, you'll hear the same thing from the Mystics, where everyone is just excited to be playing other people and not just like the practice squad and like their own teammates. So there was a little bit of a feeling out process, but then once everybody got into their bag, you started to see the no Campbell soup possibilities, if you will. Now, something that I noticed is that if Ryan Howard is not on the court, and even if she is, the offense goes through Tina Charles. Now, again, this is not slander. I am simply expressing concern and fascination to how someone who has been passed from team to team out of the league for a minute or second, however it is you want to gauge that time, is the focal point of your offense. When you have Alicia Gray, you have Cheyenne Parker, you have Ryan Howard. I'm still naming all-stars from last year, by the way. I don't understand why the engine seems to be Tina Charles. Now, Haley Williams is simply just Williams. I believe that's a singer. My fault. Miss Jones is simply doing what Coach Wright is instructing, and maybe feeding the post is how the offense gets started. Maybe we're running some iteration of the triangle that I'm not aware of. I'm not sure. I just noticed there was a considerable amount of looks for Tina Charles. Now, Coach Wright has said that the intention of this game was to get the sets going, and it wasn't about winning or losing. While I will say it does not surprise me that the intention was not to win the game, but that's not here there. No slander today. I just think it's interesting that a majority of the offense was going through Tina. Now, the success rate from Miss Tina Charles was rather high. There was a couple of weird travel calls and offensive foul calls that I thought was awfully nasty, but again, it's just preseason shenanigans, who knows. But matched up with her was Shakira Austin for a majority of the game. Shakira was getting cooked. You cannot guard Tina Charles. I don't care how old she is. I don't care how experienced she is. You're not guarding Tina Charles down low. Especially when she's a featured part of the offense. Good luck with no Elena Della Don. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. There was a little bit of a back and forth on the court between Tina Charles and Shakira Austin, but that is always going to be the case with whoever is paired up with Shakira Austin. We all know what's good with her, but that's not here there. But Tina was getting into foul trouble as well. So it was 3 quick fouls, and then was tap dancing on 4, almost 5. So she was in foul trouble for a good bit of the game. So we didn't really get to see too much, except for the random halftime practice scrimmage session where each Team A and Team B of their respective units got 5 possessions to practice. The halftime was very strange. I've never seen anything like that before, but that's not even there. But we'll move away from Tina from just a quick second. Even though I will say one quick thing, the way Tina did, and if you hear a whistling noise, there's a child outside of my house that has a flute that's just going to town, and I don't know who weaponized this child with a flute, but I wish them nothing but misfortune. But that's not the child, the person who weaponized the child with the flute. I want to make that clear before this video went to a different direction. I don't know Kendrick, but that's not even there. We're not wishing terrible things on people's families, but that's not even there. Y'all, I don't want to say I wasn't a fan of, because I can't speak to people's coaching styles. And while I was very close to the court, not coaching style, leadership style. While I was very close to the court, I'm obviously not able to make out everything that was said by the players. But I found it a little bit concerning the way Tina Charles would have coaching moments with the rest of the players. I feel like if you got yourself 4 fouls, I do not in turn see how you can bark at Haley Jones. If you were unable to catch the ball in the post because you have lost the ability to jump higher than 2 inches, I don't understand how you can bark at your teammates. Now, again, this is not slander. I'm simply pointing out things that are troubling to me. Because when you take a look at our literal MVP candidate and Ryan Howard, the star of the team, the #1 overall draft pick from 2 years ago, I was noticing a significant lack of action for her. Now, obviously, if running the offense through Tina Charles works, then, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But Ryan is the star of the team. And I'm not saying make it a heliocentric offense, because that right there is what got us in trouble in the past. There was no one else to help. I am simply saying it is concerning that you have two post players. One of them is a current All-Star, the other is a former All-Star, and the former All-Star is getting all the shots, while Cheyenne Parker's getting the little pick and pops every now and again, when we know she is a posty-toasty assassin like the best of them. But we got to make room for Tina. Again, this is not slander. I love Tina Charles. I'm excited. I've been putting in work on 2K the whole winter. Do not get me wrong. I'm not slandering Tina Charles. I am simply saying that I am noticing something that is a little bit of an eye raise, to where you bring in literal veteran talent that, if the game was strictly offensive and you didn't have to come back and play defense, and lateral movement wasn't a clear need to be able to be in the starting lineup at the center position in 2024, I just find it concerning that Alicia Gray can basically have 2 shot attempts going into halftime. Now, it's preseason. I get it if you're new to my coverage of any form of basketball. Y'all know how seriously I take the preseason, because what you see in the preseason is what you end up seeing over the course of the season. So if they weren't playing defense, this would be the time to point it out and say, oh, that's going to be an issue. If we have a size issue or a depth issue, this is the part of the show where we say, oh, this is going to be a reoccurring issue. The only reoccurring issue I am seeing outside of the starting lineup just needs to get used to each other and understand that there is a new force down low that is dictating the offense, our literal starting point of the offense. Dump it down to Tina. Let's see what happens. I'm just noticing trends. I'm noticing trends that I feel like are not going to go away anytime soon, but that's neither here nor there. Now, if you look to other individuals, like, I thought Ms. Jones played incredible. I thought she played very well. I think there's a lot of responsibility on her shoulders with the Jordan Canada injury and such, which she was, running around pre-game. It's just obviously she can't play because of her hand. I don't know which hand it is. I just kind of went with the left one, but that's not either there. I thought she did a very good job. I thought that the contributions that we got from Destiny Henderson was above average. I mean, considering her height, I thought she did an amazing job on defense. Couple of turnovers, but again, I don't really believe that is her fault. We were going into, I want to say, the fourth quarter with 18 turnovers as a team. The sloppy play, I feel like, is just coming from the fact that we're playing people that aren't us, and this is a real time to see if the options that Tanisha Wright runs are going to work. Again, I hesitantly say plays, I say options, but whatever system she's running, I feel like we just need to, just iron out, well, who's there? Do you catch the ball here or down there? What's going to happen if there's 3 seconds on the clock? Can he go to ISO City, or are we continuing to touch the paint and kick it out? Is that I feel like there's things to iron out. So I can't be highly critical on really anyone, because it's game number 1 in the preseason where it doesn't really matter. I thought that we saw a lot of good stuff from LA. I believe she's truly unguardable. Her scoring package has become so much better. Nia Coffey is still a knockdown sharpshooter, and then is just blocking everyone on the other side of the court and taking ankles too. The handles have improved as well. I'm not entirely sure why we didn't go back to the proven lineup of having having Nia Coffey at the 4 and having Cheyenne Parker at the 5. I don't know where that's coming from, but cool. Area Powers, I thought, played very well. I didn't get to see a lot of the driving action that she's known for, allegedly, but she's hitting shots, hitting foul shots. I'm here for it. You do your job, you play defense, I'm here for it. The bench unit of, say, that that crazy tandem of like Nas Reed and Coffee is giving people fits on defense. I'm loving every second of it. I would venture to say we have the deepest bench in the W, not just because it is name brand talent, but because everyone has bought into the defensive philosophy of Coach Wright. I'm loving it. There's no more pet projects. There's no more, oh, well, maybe this person is going to develop it. No. We know who we have. It's beautiful. Even the individuals who will most likely not make it past training camp, I thought everyone played well. We have an individual on her team. Her last name is Cole. I don't know her first name. I apologize. But she was going off towards the end of the game. During scrub time, during bum time, towards the end of the game, beautiful. During garbage time, she was going off. She was giving somebody fits. I think everyone played very, very well. And the fact that they were able to get the dub while not prioritizing such, I love it. I absolutely love it. I like what I'm seeing. I have a few concerns, but I feel like they'll be addressed. But most importantly, if it results in a dub, I don't care who the offense goes through. I don't care what we're running. I don't care who plays. As long as we're winning, that's all I care about. But let me know your thoughts down below. Now, I know they did not televise the game, so I feel as if this update, this very in-depth analysis and recap I gave will probably serve as what you saw from the game. But I loved it. Thought it was great. Thought it was cool. I'm hopping on 2K as we speak to try and test out some of the things that I saw. The Atlanta Dream currently are undefeated. And as long as that continues, I will make a big deal about it and be annoying. I am Sever the Bond. You are here on the local W. Subscribe for the greatest and best women's sports coverage the internet has to offer. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and check out the website for some articles and such. And obviously subscribe here on YouTube. I will be back whenever the Dream play a game again. And, obviously stay tuned for all the other stuff the local W has to offer and such. And I'll see y'all later.